Hi everyone and welcome back to your weekly science investigations with Mr. S. I'm Mr. S and I'm really excited about this investigation this week. We're going to do one of my favorite things, look at one of my favorite topics in science, and that is extreme weather. Now, extreme weather to people, us from here in Buffalo, is known as something as blizzards. I know you all have seen one before. I think we had a couple this past year. But this extreme weather we're going to be looking into is volcanoes. Materials: baking soda, vinegar, Play-Doh, a measuring teaspoon, tablespoon, a paper plate, and preferably somewhere outdoors to finish the experiment. Put it all together. All right, so now if we're gonna make a volcano, we're gonna have to build our volcano first. So this week, we'll just be using a really easy way to make it with some Play-Doh at home. There are lots of other ways you can make one. In fact, you could also put our final two ingredients inside of a bottle or something just to see the reaction. But to make the volcano, just pop out your Play-Doh, real easy. And then, seal this up so I don't lose it. Make sure you keep your lids. As you go, kind of roll it up a little bit first. You want it to kind of start in like a nice ball, just like this. Then what you're gonna do, take your hands, hold it on the outside a little bit, and then on your paper plate, really put it down right in the center and kind of use your fingers a little bit and prod it on the outside. Let me see if I can tilt this a little more so you all can see. But you're kind of poking on the inside. You just really want it to be nice and stable, so if your plate moves, your volcano's not moving. Now, the most important part of your volcano is called the crater. Now, I know you all have seen this before. The crater is the top part of the volcano, right? It's where that magma comes out and becomes lava and things like that. So all you're gonna do, take your thumb, give it a thumbs down, and poke it right into the top a little bit. Now, notice I didn't stick my whole thumb in there, right? I just went down maybe halfway. Maybe you wanna go a little bit further. My thumbs are a bit bigger. And then after that, right, so I have my little hole. You're just gonna start kind of spreading it out. Take your finger and just kind of spread out the edges. It's okay if you have some cracks. You can just kind of push it all together, really spreading it out super, super nicely. Kind of pack the sides there. You see here how I have this little crack forming. If you don't want that, all you gotta do is kind of push the two corners together, fold it, and you're good to go. So after that, you should have a crater about this big. It can be a little bigger if you want it to be, but you're going to want it to be at least this big because it needs to fit all of our baking soda. Welcome back to the testing zone. All right, everyone, welcome back to the testing zone. Now, remember, before you perform any serious scientific experiments, you need to have your protective wear, which means you should have protective eyewear. Make sure your clothing is covered up, nothing loose, and then I have some my super high-tech gloves with me, but I gotta do some measuring first, and it's really hard to do them in these. So these will come into play in a moment. Now we need to add our ingredients. So we need to, first off, hopefully you're in an outside space. This is gonna get a little smelly, so you might not want to do it inside your own home. Just a warning. Now you need to have your measuring spoons, both a tablespoon and a teaspoon, something to level with, your vinegar, baking soda, volcano, paper plate. All right, now we're ready to start. I'm sorry about the wind, but like I said, we do need to be outside. So the first thing you need to add is you need to add your baking soda. Now, this is what our teaspoon is going to be used for. Our teaspoon is smaller than our tablespoon, in case you weren't sure on which. So you're just gonna go in, take a scoop out. Make sure when you level it to level it back over the container. That will save you many messes in the future. So just one. Turn it, dump it right in there, and then what you're going to want to do is flip over your spoon using the back of it just like this and kind of just push it down in there, really mash it down nicely, because you want that nice cratered form. Here you can kind of see into mine, but you see how I have that nice crater right there? My spoon fits right into it. That's what you want for yours too. So to have that, safely put the cap back on your first ingredient. Secondly, we need to have our vinegar, and this is where the gloves are going to come in, ladies and gentlemen. So, please apply your last safety equipment if you have not already. We're good to go. We need to take our tablespoon. Remember, tablespoon, bigger than the teaspoon, also says tablespoon on it. So, what you're going to do is you're going to open up your vinegar. All right, we're good to go. Please pour over your paper plate or just over somewhere outside. That way it doesn't cause a big mess. Everything's ready. Now, the last thing is do not pour this directly over top of your volcano, okay? Definitely pour it off to the side. So, just in front, I'm going to fill up my tablespoon gently. Okay, we have it. Closing the vinegar. And we have eruption in 3, 2, 1. And you can see it erupt, the bubbles come up, everything's spilling up over. Let me show you guys, take off my safety equipment. But even right here, right, you can kind of see it all just bubbling and moving all around like that. It's really, really interesting and really fun. I hope you enjoyed this week's experiment. Hope to see you soon. Stay safe, everyone.